Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wheatley Vodka Rampage at Remington, presented by Tecate Light, mixed martial arts inside the cage, brought to you by HD MMA. We are at the gorgeous Remington Park and Casino in Oklahoma City. This bout, 3 5-minute rounds at 145 pounds. Justin Overton already in the cage. Overton, a tough kid from Junction City, Kansas. He is taking on Chris Mullins from Medill, Oklahoma. Chris Mullins now working his way into the cage. And as Mullins takes his lap, it looks like the fighters are just about ready. Let's send it up in the cage for the announcements to the sequined Gerald Whalen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues here tonight at Remington Park with a fight that you, the fans, demanded. This is a professional bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, proudly brought to you by Cathedral Energy. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at an official 146 pounds. His professional record stands at 6 wins with 4 defeats. From El Reno, Oklahoma City, or Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen, a veteran of the United States Army, Justin Overton. And his opponent standing across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at an official 146 pounds. His professional record stands at 4 wins with 2 defeats. From Medill, Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Mullins. We're going to that party for your instructions.
Hi guys, we're going to be instructions to fight hard, fight fair. Listen to my instructions, protect yourselves at all times. You just get let's get it.
Here we go. This is 3 rounds, 5-minute rounds here at the Rampage at Remington in Oklahoma City. Justin Overton, local veteran fighting out of Junction City, Kansas, originally from El Reno, Oklahoma. Again, one of the great wrestling dynasties in the country. He's taking on Chris Mullins, the crowd favorite. Chris Mullins, again, the trunks are so similar. Let's go by hairstyles. Chris Mullins in the cornrows, Justin Overton in not the cornrows. Joining us cage side, it is Mikhail Valentin. Mikhail, how do you see these two fighters matching up?
Well, one has cornrows, the other one doesn't. No, that was a really good way to describe it. What I will say is I do think that Chris Mullins has a significant advantage on his feet. However, Justin Overton has a significant grappling advantage. And I would say stifling wrestling and submissions go to Overton. Now, if this fight stays here the whole time, I would say this is Chris Mullins' game.
Chris Mullins, a very disciplined fighter. He's a few years older than Overton, or rather than Mullins. And he's showing it here as Overton takes Mullins to the ground. He looked, Mikhail, like he was in good position for a moment, but he also looked like he didn't quite know what to do with his position.
No, and that's the thing. Overton used a great overhand right, set up to a takedown, took him to the ground, and that's what I was saying. One of the things I've noticed Chris like a little bit in the past is his submission defense and fighting off his back. We talked about that before this fight because I wanted to make sure that he understood that he'd be ready there, and he's been working very hard on that. So I do think that he does look better right now than I've seen before, and he does look improved, but it still does look like Overton is the better fighter right now on the ground.
These two on the ground fighting as Mullins has his back up against the cage. And let's give credit where credit is due. Outstanding camera work by Kent Jones as he zooms in on the fighters from the top of the cage. When two fighters are in the inside like this, Mikhail, hold that thought.
Nope.
Because, and I'll holding that thought. Justin Overton looked like he was in good position, threw a knee. There's a gasp from the crowd. Did Mullins have his knee on the canvas at that point?
It hit the body, though. It hit him in the solar plex. That's legal. As long as it doesn't go to the head, he was legally able to do that.
I think Justin Overton is really controlling this round, and frankly, I'm surprised Mullins doesn't have a few more answers for what Overton has delivered thus far.
I agree. That's one of the things I was thinking because I knew this was the style of Justin Overton. But I also do know that Chris has been working hard to fix it. So, yeah, honestly, I thought it'd be a little more. But at the same time, it's very hard to go against a smothering top grappler like Overton. And very easy for me to say that, he should do better. But at the same time, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're right. Overton's better here. He's smothering him. And I did think Chris would do a little more. But in his defense, he's not taking a lot of damage. He's just being controlled.
And it looks like Overton has the forearm pressing down on the neck of Mullins through a nice elbow on the inside from top mount. Mullins really defending himself pretty well considering how vulnerable he has been throughout this round.
Yes, he's using his right hand really well to control Overton's left hand. That's kind of limiting the damage a little bit. He's using his legs to try to keep him from passing, even though Overton is in half guard, which is actually a good position for him. It's easier to control someone from here. If I'm Mullins here, I get my back to the cage and stand up. However, he's not doing that, and Overton's just smothering him against the cage and doing a really, really good job with it.
And as we pointed out earlier, sitting cage side, that's easier said than done.
Yes.
Justin Overton comes from El Reno, Oklahoma. That was one of the powerhouses of national wrestling for decades. And Justin Overton is certainly showing what he learned in that program by completely controlling Mullins when they get on the ground. And I think it's his wrestling that's doing it.
It is, and Justin's not even like a wrestler. He didn't come from necessarily a wrestling background, but he really took heavy interest in it, in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu aspect, and that really is his game. He's actually a Bellator veteran as well and has a big win over there. So the guy's been in all sorts of stages, and it does look like he continues to use his pedigree to the best of his ability here, just like he does in a lot of fights.
Justin Overton, a tough kid as we come to the end of round one. Justin Overton dominating Chris Mullins. Round two coming up. Here we go, round two of this 147-pound bout. 3 5-minute rounds, professional MMA here at the Wheatley Vodka Rampage at Remington, presented by Tecate Light. These two squaring up on their feet, which we did not really see them in this position in round one, as Justin Overton seemed to control all the action in round one with his wrestling. And again, takes Mullins to the ground and hard. Mikhail Valentin, how much damage does that take out of a fighter when he's already lost round one big and starts out round two getting put flat on his back?
I wouldn't say necessarily damage, but I do think it takes a toll mentally, because I think what happened in the beginning of that round, Overton just threw a strike to the head. His hand was there. He didn't land the head, but it's still, he can be thrown at the head from that position. So it was an error on Overton's part.
Yeah, throwing a knee while Mullins had one knee on the ground. I certainly don't think it was deliberate, as his knee went down pretty quickly there, and Overton was not in a position to see it. Both fighters telling each other it's cool, and here they go, continuing with the stand-up. Neither seems to be really dominating in the striking. When they're on their feet, they seem relatively even. Neither inflicts much damage, but as soon as they go to the ground, Overton just takes over.
Yep, and that's in the beginning of the round. You saw Mullins land a big strike, and that was really where Mullins excels. But Overton's actually doing a very good job changing levels with the kicks and the punches.
But Mullins right there threw a nice overhand counter right as Overton was coming in. If you were working in Overton's corner, how much would you be pleading with him to take it back to the ground?
So one of the things, I think I agree, he needs to take it there, but he also has to be very careful, because as you saw with him getting landed there, when you rush in like that, that's when you open yourself up. So that was smart right there. He was using his punches and he was using his levels to get to that position. But if he stays in the open and rushes in, that's too dangerous.
Nice combinations from both fighters on the inside. Once again, Justin Overton dominating with his wrestling as he slams Chris Mullins flat on his back here in round 2. We are at the Wheatley Vodka Rampage at Remington, presented by Tecate Light, brought to you by HD MMA. This is shaping up to be much like the first round, Mikhail, in which Overton seems to call the shots and dictate the geography of the fight based on his wrestling.
Yep, that's exactly what's happening. He took a couple extra punches this round, but overall it's more of the same. Uh-oh, this is trouble. This is trouble. He's got his chin up, though. He's not all the way under yet. He's out.
Overton was an eighth of an inch away from being in perfect position and getting underneath Mullins' chin, but did not quite have it. And maybe Mullins is sorry about that, as he's now taking repeated left elbows as Justin Overton slams Mullins' head down to the canvas. Mullins, I would think at this point, Mikhail, has to feel simply overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I don't think he's taking a lot of punishment in the sense he's not hurt, but he's got to be overwhelmed. It's got to be mentally taxing because honestly, he's unable to do anything, and he's unable to be even defensive in the sense of trying to get out. He's just there.
And Overton has never given him the opportunity to put Mullins in a position to.
This is bad. This is a darce. This is deep.
This is deep, and
he got it deeper by pulling back.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He lost it. He lost it.
Oh, I was just about to say Mullins' hand might be tapping any moment, but no. Once again, very elusive is Chris Mullins, working his way out of several chokes as he has been grinding his way through round 2 from the bottom throughout most of this round.
Oh, wow, Overton raining down big punches now, looking to take his back here, and he does. He's got the hooks. He's going to go for a choke here if he flattens him out. That's what he's looking to do with the punches. Now he's going to try to get his hands under, but honestly, there it is. Now he's doing it.
But I think Overton's a little too high on his back.
He is, but he's trapping that arm with his leg and open the neck. He's got him.
Well,
it's over. No, it's got to be. Like, this is...
Well, let's see.
Well, look, his chin is under. No, he's fighting the chin now. Now he is. He's out. He
Chris Mullins has had enough. Justin Overton ends this bout with a rear naked choke. We will get the official time when we come back. Welcome back to the Wheatley Vodka Rampage at Remington, presented by Tecate Light and brought to you by HD MMA. This bout has ended in round 2. We are going to get the particulars up in the cage from the timeless Gerald Whalen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout proudly brought to you by Cathedral Energy. Ends at 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the second round. Your winner by rear naked choke out of the blue corner, Justin Overton.
Justin Overton moving his record to an impressive 7-4, ending this bout in the second round. We have our co-main events, including the big one, Braden Smith against Aaron A.J. Nichols. You do not want to miss that. It's all coming up.